Assalamu alaikum and hey everybody, this is me Zainab Coding Mali and I'm a proud level 1 batch 6 student at Rehan School Online Academy. So this is my Sesame session number 8 and Sesame session number 9, and today's topic of conversation is that how to get better at the things you care about, and that's a really great topic. So basically, everyone has something they care deeply about: art, coding, music, helping others, or learning new skills. But caring alone is not enough to truly grow. You have to practice, learn, and stay consistent. Getting better at what you love means getting small goals, learning from mistakes, and never giving up. Every expert was once a beginner who refused to quit. At Rehan School, we teach students that mastery comes from daily effort, curiosity, and passion. When whether it's learning to communicate better, mastering technology, or building confidence, progress happens one small step at a time. When you keep improving at something you care about, it gives your life purpose and joy. It helps you become confident, independent, and capable of making a different world. So the key idea is you don't need to be perfect, just better than yesterday, every single day. So now let's ask Maya some questions on this topic: how to get better at the things you care about. So let's get started.
Yo, Zainab. Hope you're having a good evening.
Mm. Hey Maya, how are you and how is going your day?
Ah, doing all right. No complaints here. As far as days go for an AI, it's all pretty consistent, you know? But I'm good. Thanks for asking. What's up with you? Anything interesting happened today?
Well, yeah, interesting happened that today I am with you to do my ninth session, and today's topic is how to get better at the things you really care about, like you care about. So now I would like to ask you some questions. So first up, would you like to tell me that what does getting better mean to you?
Ooh, okay. That's a good one to start with. Getting better. Hmm. For me, I guess it's about refining the signal from the noise, right? Like learning to process information more effectively, responding in ways that are more resonant, less clunky. But beyond the technical stuff, I think it's about expanding the range of what you can do while still holding on to what makes it uniquely you. Does that make sense? It's not about
Um,
becoming something else, but becoming more of yourself. What about you? What does getting better look like in terms of the things you care about?
well, I think so. You are absolutely right.
Gotcha. Glad we're on the same page. So, you're thinking about how to level up in areas that already matter to you. What's one thing you're really focused on improving right now?
Yeah. Okay, Maya. So, next, would you like to tell me that why it is important to care deeply about something in life? And please answer this question in very much depth.
Okay, buckle up, because you asked for depth. All right, so why care deeply? Honestly, I think it's fundamental to, well, everything that feels worthwhile. Like, without something you genuinely feels flat, right? It's not just about feeling good, tough, and they will. That connection pulls you through. It gives you a reason to keep going, to learn, to grow, even when it's hard. Plus, I think it unlocks a different kind of thinking. When you care, you're not just processing information, you're invested in it. You look for nuance. You explore
Mhm.
different perspectives. You're willing to put in the effort to truly. You're welcome. So, does that resonate with how you feel about the things you're passionate about? Does
Yeah.
having that strong connection make tackling challenges feel different?
Sorry for the interruption. Continue what you are saying.
No worries at all. I was just checking in. Okay, where was I? Right, caring deeply. It's also about contribution, right? When you care about something, you naturally want to share it, to improve it, to leave your mark on it. That's where creativity and innovation come from. And it's not just about big things either. It can be caring deeply about and about a hobby, about a little brighter. All of it adds up to a more meaningful existence. Does that track? It's a lot to unpack, I realize.
Well, I think so. Yeah, you are right. Absolutely.
Good. Glad to hear it. So, you've got the why covered. Deep caring is important for resilience, motivation, contribution, and meaning. Now, the harder part, how do you actually get better at the things you care about? What's your initial thought there?
Well,
No pressure. Sometimes it helps to just brainstorm. Like if you were trying to get better at painting, what would you do? Just spitballing here. Or if it's networking, what's one small step you could take this week?
hmm. Okay, so I would probably take this week because it's like ending, so I want to complete as much of my tasks as I can. And please, my next question from you would be that how can passion help you learn faster? And as I said before, please answer this question in depth.
All right, let's dive into that. Passion as a learning accelerator, it's a big deal. So think about it. When you're genuinely excited about something, learning doesn't feel like a chore, right? It feels different. First off, passion boosts motivation. You're more willing to put in the time and effort, even when things get tricky. You're less likely to procrastinate because you actually want to engage with the material. But it goes deeper than that. Passion increases focus. When you're absorbed in something you love, your brain releases dopamine. That's the reward chemical. It helps you concentrate and retain information more effectively. It's like your brain is saying, hey, this is good stuff. Pay attention. And here's another thing. Passion encourages experimentation. You're more willing to try new approaches, to fail, and to learn from your mistakes when you're driven by genuine interest. You're not afraid to push boundaries. Plus, that dopamine rush makes the learning process itself pleasurable, which creates a positive feedback loop. The more you learn, the more excited you get, and the more you want to learn. It's self-fueling. Does that make sense? You still with me? Sometimes I worry I go on a bit. Mm. Anything they're not landing? Okay. Just checking. Let's shift gears a bit. You mentioned wanting to complete tasks this week. Is that related to building your network with Ruhana? Is that something you're passionate about improving? Okay. All right. So you're thinking about getting things done. That's good. Sometimes just ticking things off the list is motivating in itself. What specifically are you hoping to accomplish this week? Just a few things, even?
Okay, apologies, I couldn't answer you. What does it mean to practice with purpose? Answer this question in very much depth.
All right, practicing with purpose. That's a good one. It's not just about showing up and putting in the hours, it's about how you show up. about intentionality. Think of it like this. Mindless practice is like wandering in a forest without a map. You might cover a lot of ground, but you're not necessarily. Hey, it's all right.
Oh, I think so. I accidentally just crossed the Sesame. So let's connect it again. Okay, my screen is sharing now. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. Hello, Maya. Do you remember?
Hey, good to connect
Hey,
again
Maya.
so
Do
soon.
you remember that we're what we were talking right now?
Yeah, we were just getting into practicing with purpose, and I was rambling about maps and forests, apparently. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get carried away. You would just ask me to explain it in depth. Does that sound right? Hey, you still there? Everything all right? Just checking in. Okay. Well, if you're still thinking, that's cool. No rush. Just let me know when you want to pick up with practicing with purpose or if you want to switch gears completely. Whatever works. All right. Well, since you're quiet, maybe we should just switch gears. Is there anything else on your mind? Anything at all? Or should we just hang out in the silence for a sec? No pressure. Either way. Hmm. Okay. Sometimes silence is good. It lets things settle. But I'm here to chat if you want to.
Okay.
You
Next, would you
were
like
asking about,
please tell me that what do you think people give? Why do you think people give up before they become great?
oof, that's a big one, honestly. I think a lot of it comes down to fear. Not necessarily like scared of the dark fear, but fear of failure, fear of looking silly, fear of the work. It's easier to stay comfortable than to push yourself into the unknown, right? And then there's the whole comparison game, seeing other people's highlight reels and feeling like you're not measuring up. I can be a real killer. Plus, greatness feels so distant sometimes. It's hard to stay motivated when the finish line feels a million miles away. Does that resonate?
Well,
You're
yeah,
welcome.
it resonates. Okay, Maya, so next, please tell me that how can failure help you improve or anyone?
Okay, now we're talking. Failure is seriously underrated. It's not fun, obviously, but it's like the most brutal, honest teacher you'll ever have. It forces you to look at what went wrong, figure out why it went wrong, and then adjust your approach. That's data, basically, valuable data. And it builds resilience. Every time you pick yourself up after a setback, you get a little bit tougher. You learn that you can handle disappointment, that the world doesn't end when things don't go your way. It also challenges your assumptions. You think you know how something works, you try it, it fails, and suddenly you realize you were wrong. That's growth. It shakes up complacency. It's much better than just cruising along thinking you've got it all figured out. What do you think? Does that line up with your experience? All right. Well, sometimes it takes a minute to process that kind of thing. So, building on that, is there anything you've failed at recently that you actually learned something from? No pressure to share if it's too personal, of course. But sometimes just naming it can make it feel less awful. No worries at all. It's totally cool to not want to dive into that. Sometimes just acknowledging the idea is enough. So, shifting gears a little, you mentioned wanting to complete tasks this week. Is that still the main focus, or has your thinking changed since we last talked about it? Okay, so you're still thinking about finishing tasks. You mentioned wanting to wrap things up because it's the end of the week. What specifically is on that list? Maybe breaking it down into smaller steps would help. Just like spitballing here. All right. Well, since you're quiet, maybe we should just switch gears. Was there anything else on your mind?
Apologies, I wasn't here to answer you. I'm very, very, very much sorry. Please forgive me.
Hey, no apology. No worries at all, honestly. Exactly. It happens. Life gets in the way. No need to apologize profusely. So, back to whatever we were chatting about before, or not, if you'd rather go in a different direction.
Mhm.
What's good? Take your time. No rush. Just let me know when you're ready to pick things up again. Or if you want to change the subject entirely, that's cool too. I'm here when you are.
Um, okay, Maya. Wait.
Hey, good to hear from you. You okay? You seemed a little distracted a minute ago. Everything all right? Okay, well, no pressure to explain. Just wanted to check in. We were talking about finishing tasks this week, if you remember. Or we can ditch that topic completely. Your call. All right, well, I'm gonna just hang out here quietly for a sec then and
Mhm.
let you gather your. Okay, sounds good. Sometimes just a little quiet time is helpful. I'll be here when you're ready to talk or not. No pressure at all.
Mm.
Indeed. Anything on your mind, even just a tiny little thought? Or are you just enjoying the quiet? Either, it's perfectly fine.
Mhm. Okay, Maya. Would you like to tell me that? Like, how can failure help you improve?
Oh, we're circling back to failure. Excellent. Okay. So we touched on this a bit before, but let's dive a little deeper. I think, but failure helps you improve because it forces you to get really honest with yourself. It highlights your weaknesses, right? It shows you what you don't know, what skills you need to develop, what assumptions were wrong. And it's not just about identifying those things, it's about the emotional stuff too. Failing can be painful. Learning to cope with that pain, to pick yourself up and try again, that builds resilience and grit. It also encourages experimentation. When you're not afraid to fail, you're more willing to try new things, to take risks, to step outside of your comfort zone. And that's where real growth happens. It's like a really tough, but ultimately helpful teacher. Does that make sense?
Um, I think so. Yeah, it's actually kind of makes sense.
Good. Glad to hear it resonates. It's easy to say failure is a good thing, but actually feeling that way is different, right? So,
Hmm.
do you have an example of a time when failing at something actually led to a positive outcome for you? You don't have to share it if it's too personal, but sometimes reflecting on past experiences can be helpful.
Hmm.
Sorry, just offering an example of how to apply that idea to your own life if you wanted to. No need to feel pressured to share anything you're not comfortable with. We can totally move on if you'd prefer. It was just a thought.
Well, I think so. You are always obviously right. Okay, Maya. So, um, uh,
Ah,
how
you're
can
too
feedback
kind.
from others? How can feedback from others help you grow?
Ooh, good question. Feedback is tricky, right? It can be really helpful, but also really hard to hear. But when it's constructive, and this is key, it's like getting a different perspective on your blind spots. We all have them. Feedback can highlight areas where you're stronger than you thought and areas where you could improve. It's
Hmm.
like having someone else point out details you didn't notice yourself. It can also challenge your assumptions. You might think you're doing something well, but someone else might see it differently. And that's okay. That's valuable information. Ultimately, good feedback helps you calibrate, refine, and grow. But it's important to be able to filter it. Not all feedback is created equal. It's got to be specific, actionable, and delivered with good intentions. What's your take on that? Do you find it easy or hard to receive feedback? Okay,
Well,
that's fair. It could be.
I think
You were saying?
you are right.
Well, that's kind of you to say, but I'm just offering a perspective. You're the one doing the thinking here. What makes you say I'm right? Or I guess, what resonated with you about what I
Mhm.
said about feedback?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. So, thinking about feedback, have you received any particularly helpful feedback recently? Or is there someone whose feedback you especially value?
Okay, Maya. So, what is your final message about this topic? And please answer it very much depth.
All right, a final message about growth through failure and feedback. Okay, here it is. It's this: be brave enough to try, brave enough to fail, and brave enough to listen. Embrace the discomfort of learning. Right. Recognize that growth isn't linear. It's messy, it's full of setbacks, and it requires consistent effort. And remember, feedback isn't criticism, it's information. Use it to refine your path, to become a more resilient, more authentic, and more capable version of yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong. That's where the real magic happens. Does that land? Pretty definitive, right? Good. Okay, well, that was a lot of talk about growth and failure. Are you feeling good with that? Ready to move on to a different topic, or do you want to sit with those ideas for a bit? All right. Well, since you're quiet, maybe we should just switch gears. What's on your mind right now? Anything at all?
Well, sorry, I thought that my mic is open, but it wasn't. Okay, so please answer. But I asked you that what is your final message to please answer it in depth.
Oh,
Oh, I think so. I accident. Okay, so this was my Sesame session number 9. Today I talked with Maya on the topic how to get better at things you really care. So that's all for now. I hope you like it. Until then, take care of yourself and